Hey guys, Anna Zwane here, personal trainer from A to Z Fit, and welcome to your core and cardio Tabata workout. Let's get ready to rock and roll. All right, now to warm up, we're going to start with some side bends. These are going to be 20 seconds at a time. Work hard for every 20 seconds.
3,
2, 1. Going to the side bend. Step the leg behind you and reach over to the side. Now each exercise we do is going to be 20 seconds long. The warm-up is going to include 8 exercises at 20 seconds just to warm up the core, get that heart rate going, get the breathing going. And we have a 10-second break going into a boxer shuffle. Coming up next, we're going into a boxer twist, pulling the hips in,
4, 3,
tucking the elbows
2,
in, and
1.
twisting it at the core. So rotate your shoulders front to side, keeping that core tight. So where are you going to feel this one? Right here in the abs. The upper body twist. Elbows are tucked in. Keep twisting from the abs. We're going to go into a boxer shuffle. We're getting ready to go into a knee to elbow, taking your opposite knee and opposite elbow together.
4, 3, 2.
Stay tall. Bring your left to your right, and then your right to your left. Keeping the core tight. Abs pulled high. Now don't touch your head here. Make sure the elbows stay back. Pulling your shoulder blades in together. Taking the chest to the knee. And twisting in the center. We're going to come to the ground. We're going into a pelvic tilt. Really important to practice this one to get that core warmed up and to stay safe in the low back. So with your pelvic tilt, you're just going to push your low back down and then release it. Pushing your spine against the ground and releasing it. It's a really small movement, and it's happening just at your low back. So you can take your hand underneath your spine and push it down. And recover here. We're going to flip it over into tabletop, going into a cat-cow. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Push your spine up, tuck your chin in, and then release back to neutral. So right here we're stretching through the low back, and we're also practicing a pelvic tilt because we're always going to use this pelvic tilt when we're in our plank position. Keep pulling the hips and chin in together. And recover here. Now you can stay on your knees or you can go to your toes, but I want you to pull the hips in, and now you're going to take your legs out. So that spine is nice and flat. We're just going to hold a plank hold on our hands as your high plank hold. Your chest is over your hands, squeezing your knees and your elbows together. You're looking neutral between your hands. Feeling this in your core and feeling your hips being pulled in. And you can recover here. Now remember, with these planks, you can also be on your knees, but make sure that your knees are far back behind you. We're now going to go into a slow spider climber. Up into a high plank, tuck your hips in. Now pull your knee up and outside to the elbow. Pull the knee up and to the outside. Just like what spider legs would look like. These are your slow spider climbers. Feeling this in the obliques, in the core. And you have one more to go. This is going to be a slow cricket climber. In the high plank position, tucking your hips in, pulling your knee to the opposite elbow, keeping that chest nice and still, and the chest is still over your hands. So now you're crossing the midline, pulling the knee to the opposite elbow, feeling this in the abs and around the belly button. And you're going to come on up. Now, after every round of Tabata, which is going to be 8 rounds, we do have a minute break. We don't really need much for a break right here, so I want us to go into jumping jacks. So you have 1 minute of jumping jacks in between every single round. Now, with these jacks, you can either step out 2 legs at a time, or you can step out 1 leg at a time, and that's fine too. But keep that body moving. So for your next round, that was your warm-up, and now for your next round coming up, we're going to alternate between A and B exercises. Exercise A is going to be flutters, and then exercise B is going to be spider climbers. As many as you can in 20 seconds. Safety first, so make sure that you're safe, and make sure that you have quality movements over the quantity. We're going to come to the ground. We're getting ready to rock and roll. You have your flutters coming up. Take your hands under that low back. Take your legs out long.
3, 2,
Flutter the legs really
1.
small off the ground. To make it harder, lift your chest up. To modify, you're going to bring your legs up higher off the ground. You can also bend your knees if you need to. But with flutter kicks, it's just like you're swimming in a pool. Keep the legs long and you're fluttering from your hips. Feeling this in the lower half. Flip it over. We're going into spider climbers. Remember to push your spine up first, and then you're going to be on your toes.
3,
Chest
2,
over the hands.
1.
Bring the knee to the outside elbow. Big core movement here. Also working the obliques. Keep that knee lifted as you pull it around. And keep it up. Come on down, back to flutters. So we're going to repeat these 2 exercises. Hands under the low back. Legs are long. Push your hands down
2, 1.
and flutter those legs. Feeling this in your lower half. Lower abs are getting this done. That's it. Flip it over. Back into spider climbers. High plank position. Hands under the shoulders. Chest over the hands.
3, 2, 1.
Pull the knees up and then to the outside. Now you can go faster here or you can slow it down. But the goal is to hold yourself up for the entire 20 seconds. Now remember, you can modify on your knees, but make sure your knees are back behind you. Squeezing the obliques. And flip it back over. You're halfway through. Let's go through this again. Starting with those flutters. Hands under the spine. Push them down.
3, 2, 1.
Long legs. Flutter them out. The closer to the ground, the harder it's going to be. Bend the knees if you need to. Feel it in the lower abs. And flip it over, spider climbers. Now I also love spider climbers because it's a really big cardio movement.
3, 2, 1.
So you get to crank up that heart rate and you get to burn a lot of energy because this is such a big movement. Asking your entire body to move, hold you up, cranking up that heart rate and breathing heavy here. Keep pulling the knee up and then to the outside. And we have one more of each. One more time with these flutters. Push down that spine, tuck your hips in.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And let's flutter. The legs are long. Feeling it in the abs. If you feel it in your low back, that is a sign that your low back is arched up. Make sure you're pushing it down. Push that back down. You have 10 seconds left. One more.
Last one.
This is it. Bring in your best spider climbers of the day. And let's do it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's see them. Knees up and to the outside. Circling them around, just like you're pulling your knee across a hula hoop that's around your upper body. Keep it going. And break. You have that 1 minute break, which means it's time to go into jumping jacks. So let's do it. I'll explain our next round as you move through this. Remember, with jacks, you can always step out one at a time if you want to modify. Now coming up next, you have 2 exercises. We're switching between A and B. Exercise A is a standing oblique crunch. Exercise B is a coconut crush. So we're going to focus on a big cardio movement here and also toning and tightening the obliques in the core. This is always a good time in between these Tabata rounds. It's always a good time to grab water if you need it, so go for it. All right, we have standing oblique crunches. Reaching the left arm up to the left knee.
3, 2, 1.
And let's go. So what you're doing is you're gonna lean, making those muscles nice and long, and then pulling it in. So make that rubber band long and then pull it in. Stretching that rubber band of the obliques long and then pulling it in. Feeling it on the side of your body. And break. We're then gonna go into a coconut crush. Reaching and pulling the knees through the hands.
3,
Reach
2, 1.
and pull. Still working the obliques, and it's working towards the middle of our abs by our belly button. That bottom leg is soft, and you're pulling hard here for this coconut crush. Reach that coconut on the top of the tree, and then cracking it open. And break. We're going back to those oblique crunches on the same side. Make sure you lean, and you pull, and you pinch.
3, 2, 1.
Lean, pull, pinch the oblique. Now to make it harder, of course, you speed it up. You try to keep that foot off the ground. If you need to modify, touch the foot down and then go. Feeling it in the side. Stick with it. Good. We're switching to the coconut crush. Last time on the side. Reach that coconut and pull it through.
4, 3, 2.
Get your best in. Maybe you add a jump if you want some more. Or modify by keeping that foot down on the ground. You got 10 seconds left here. And break. We now have oblique crunches on the other side. So make sure you're leaning long oblique.
4,
Pull it in and crunch.
2, 1.
Good. Lean, pull, pinch. Lean, pull, pinch. Focusing on the oblique, getting all the work done here. So you're meeting your knee and your elbow in the same spot, just like you're pulling yourself through a hallway or 2 sheets of glass. Coconut crush. Reach and pull. Get long here. Elongate the obliques.
3, 2, 1.
And pull. Now remember, you can jump it or take the jump out to modify. That bottom knee is soft and you're pulling hard every single time. So where do you feel this one? In the oblique. Keep pulling. And break. Here we go. Back to those oblique crunches. Lean. Long rubber band. Pull it in.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. Meet the knee to the outside. And stick with this, 10 seconds left. And break. Last one. This is it. Finishing this out. Reaching for that coconut and pull it in. So working the oblique.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's do it. Add the best one that you have here. Modify up or modify down. Stick with us here. And there you go. You finished that Tabata round. Now we're going to just go into jumping jacks because we have that 1 minute break, which really isn't much of a break. I know, I get it. But we're trying to keep that heart rate up, burning off some energy. Our next Tabata round is going to alternate between crunches and cricket climbers. Stay with us here. Remember to modify if you need to. Good, stick with it. And we're coming down. We have crunches. Practicing that pelvic tilt. Push that spine down. Elbows out, fingertips by the ears. Don't hang on to that head. Take the chest off the ground, rolling through each vertebrae at a time. So you're rolling gently and smoothly through the upper back, down the spine, imprinting every vertebrae that you have onto that mat. And take a break from that. We're flipping it over for cricket climbers. High plank position, pull the opposite knee to the opposite elbow. Opposite knee, opposite elbow.
2, 1.
Keep your hips pulled in. That spine is pushed up. Pinching the knee and the elbow. Feeling the obliques and the core and the abs working here. Keep that upper body nice and still. The arms are long and strong. Slow it down or speed it up. Whatever you can do. And flip it over. We have crunches. Now this time with these crunches, dig your heels into the ground. Dig your heels in. Elbows out.
3, 2, 1.
Lifting your chest up off the ground. Imagining there's a tennis ball underneath your chin. We're not pulling on that head, but we're just focusing on the abs doing all the work here. And flip it over. We got cricket climbers. Hands under the shoulders. Legs are long.
4,
Pulling the knee to the opposite elbow.
1.
Let's go. Bring the speed or slow it down. Now, if you don't feel this in your core, it could be because you're not engaging it. It could be because you're sagging and your hips are down. Make sure you're pulling your hips in towards you and that spine is bubbled up. And flip it over. We're halfway through it. Dig the heels, elbows out.
4,
Crunching as many times as you can. Let's go. Keep rolling through that spine. You've got it here. Dig the heels. Lift that chest. Keep it crunching. And flip it. Let's go. This is round number 6. All right, with these cricket climbers, you've got it. You've got this. Chest over the hands.
2, 1.
And bring your best here. Let's go. Keep your hips pulled in towards you. Halfway. One more of each. Flip it over. Heel dig. Crunch it.
4, 3, 2.
Bring in as many as you can. The abs are getting us done. You're going to feel this in the upper abs. 10 seconds of rock and roll. Keep it up.
Last one.
Yeah, there it is. You heard it. Last one, but it's got to be your best one. Bring in those cricket climbers.
4,
You've got it.
3,
Let's go.
1.
And let's push. Push hard here. Last time in these plank positions. You're not going to see this plank position again. Keep it up. And take a break. We do need to come up to those jumping jacks for one last time. You have one more round of Tabata left. Now we focus a lot anteriorly, didn't we? So with the abs and the core. Now we do need to also focus on the spinal erectors and the muscles around the spine. So coming up are your last 2 sets of exercises. Is going to be Superman and a side plank dip. So we're working the muscles in the lower back, and we're also going to be working the muscles on the side, so more oblique work. Get ready to bring your best, and this is going to be your last round. And let's go. We're on the ground for Supermans. Now here we go with Supermans. Push your pubic bone down.
3, 2.
Bring your knees and your ankles close together. Push your pubic bone down. I want you to lift the chest and the quads off the ground, but keeping your pubic bone pressed against the ground. Squeeze your glutes. Looking neutral. And I need you to go onto your left side for side plank dips. Left elbow directly under the left shoulder. Body's in a nice straight line. Wrist above in a straight line. So look, my hands, my wrist, my shoulder, my chest, and my other arm are in a straight line. Touching my left hip towards the ground, actually touching the hip and pushing back up. Now to modify, look, you can be on your knees doing the same thing. Good, flip it over. We have Supermans. Pubic bone against the ground. Arms in a Y shape.
2, 1.
Looking between your shoulders, squeezing your glutes in. Lift the chest and the quads off the ground. Focusing on your low back, getting this work done. Smooth and controlled here. Pulling your shoulder blades in together. And back to your left side. Left plank dips. Another way to modify is to take that top arm down towards the ground.
2, 1.
Keep that chest open. Dip the hips and push back up. Now your chest is open towards me. Touching the hip down and pushing. Where do you feel this? On the bottom oblique. Getting all the work done here. And back onto your stomach, we have Supermans. Round number 5. Pubic bone press against the ground. This time I want your hands by your sides. Lift your chest, quads off the ground, and roll your elbows in towards each other. This is a Superman roll. Lower, raise, pull your elbows in together. Focusing on the low back and the upper back pulling in together. And now we're on our right side for dips. Elbow directly under the shoulder. Chest is open.
3,
Nice straight line.
1.
And let's go. So I want you to imagine that your body's in a hallway. Or there's a sheet of glass on your front side and a sheet of glass on your back side. And your body is right in between them. Elbow, hip, knee, ankle in a straight line with each other. Dip the hips and push back up. And we're back to Superman rolls. Knees and ankles close together. Squeeze the glutes.
3,
Push the pubic bone down. Pull the chest and the legs up. And squeeze the elbows together. Your chin is tucked in towards your throat. Three, 2, and 1.
Last 1.
We have these dips. Last time here. Elbow underneath you, right underneath that shoulder.
2, 1.
Lifting that body up in that side plank, dipping out those hips. Last time here. Keep this going. As many as you can. That's it. Now come on up for jumping jacks. So that completes this round of cardio core ab Tabata, but there is going to be an extra bonus round. So you're welcome to log off, click off the day, or you are welcome to stick around for this last round. We do have 4 minutes left if you are going to stick around, but we're going to finish with Russian twist and then low plank dips. And if you like this workout, remember to subscribe to get more workouts like this that you can do from home. You can also check out our program, our A to Z Fit remote training program, where you get live remote training just like this 3 days a week, and also health coaching. So we're going to start with Russian twist. First round, knees and ankles together. Lift the heels off the ground if you can, or modify with the heels on the ground. But lean back, touch the hands to the opposite sides, twisting the shoulders. Pull your belly button in, but pull your abs high. 3, 2, 1, flip it over. We have low plank dips. Elbows under the shoulders, knees and ankles glued together. You're going to take your hips and touch the hip to the ground and then touch the other hip to the ground. Feeling this pull through the core and the obliques. Now how do you modify? You can be on your knees doing the same thing. Try to touch your hips down. Three, two, one. Flip it. Russian twist, round 3. Knees and ankles together. Glue them. Chest up.
4, 3,
Get ready to twist it out.
2, 1.
Now can you keep that lower body nice and still? Trying to keep a glass of water on top of the knees. Keep it up. Twist. And flip it over. Plank dips. We're coming to our halfway mark here. We're almost done with this workout. I promise no more surprises after this. Elbows under the shoulders.
2,
Glue the knees and ankles together. Touching the left hip and the right hip to the floor. Don't let your hips sag here. Squeeze the glutes. Pull your hip bones in towards your chest. And flip it, Russian twist. Knees, ankles together. Touch them down if you need to. Pull them up.
3,
Get ready to twist out.
1.
So where do you feel this one? In the abs. Deep in the abs. Pull the belly button in. Keep it up. Chest is open. Shoulder blades are pulled back. And flip it. Let's go on those plank dips. I'll show you a back view this time. Elbows under the shoulders.
4,
Knees to ankles
3,
together.
2,
Pulling the hip bones in. Touching the hip down. Keep it up, 10 seconds left. You have one more of each. This is it. Last 2 rounds. Get your best in. Knees, ankles together.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Twist it. $15 left. Last 10, stick with it. Good.
Last one.
This is it. Last time here. Last time with these plank dips, get your best in, and then we stretch.
4, 3, 2.
Elbows underneath you. Dip it out. Last 10 seconds here. And come on up. You have made it through your workout. Nice job working that cardio, core, and abs. I hope you're going to feel it. I hope you're feeling it right now. And I hope you feel it for the next couple days. Good work. Now, if you like videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to us. Keep your feet moving, please. Go ahead and subscribe so that way you always stay updated when we send out new videos, home workouts that you can do from home. If you like this type of workout and you're looking for a personal trainer to come into your home, if you're also looking for nutrition guidance, check out our program, remote training program, A to Z Fit. You get 3 live workouts a week, and you also get health coaching with that to help you make better eating choices. You can go to www.atozfit.com. You can email us at info@atozfit.com. We are now going to stretch it out, starting with the hamstrings. Take the hands behind the back. Pull the blades together.
3, 2,
Take the
1.
chest down towards the floor. Stretching through the hamstrings. Breathe deep here. Relaxing the hamstrings. Tucking the chin in. Allowing yourself to melt a little bit further to the floor. Close to the floor with each breath. And we're going to come down to a frog stretch. Feet are wide apart, knees are out. Take your elbows. Push those knees out.
3, 2, 1.
Release the hips and the inner thighs. Chest is open and breathe deep here. Taking that right leg forward, left knee back. We're going to push our hips forward, stretching through the hip flexor,
4,
stretching through the
3,
left hip flexor.
2, 1.
Arms up overhead, pull the elbows back, stretching through the chest also. Breathe deep through the hip flexor, keeping that chest open. And switch legs. Left leg forward, right leg back. Push your hips through.
4, 3, 2.
Keeping your shoulders on top of the hips. This time, arms out front, separate the shoulder blades. Feeling the stretch in the upper back and the hip flexor. On your back, let's stretch through the low back and the core. Knees and ankles together, palms out flat onto the floor.
4, 3.
Let your knees fall towards the right side. Bring your knees and ankles together. Stretching through the low back. Breathe deep here. And then ankles to the other side, keeping the palms on the ground. Chest is facing up.
4, 3, 2.
Feeling
1.
the stretch in the low back and the glutes. Just relax and recover here. Pull your knees in towards your chest, stretching through the low back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Giving those knees a big hug, pulling it in, feeling the stretch through the glutes and the low back. Breathe deep. Coming to the very last little bit of your workout. We only have one more stretch to go after this. Be very proud of yourself for making it through this whole video. I know it's a tough one.
Last one.
But if you're still watching this part, this means that you dug deep and you stuck with it. Way to go. Very good.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We're now going to cycle through cat-cows. You're going to push your spine up, tuck your chin in, and then allow your hips to come to the floor, taking the top of the forehead to the ceiling. Pushing through the spine, and then releasing it. Making sure your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. And that is it for you today. Way to finish it out. I hope that you liked your core, your cardio, your ab workout. And remember to subscribe to this page if you want to see more workouts just like this. Thanks for being here. Have a good one.